Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song Ghost Rider by Suicide. So this is part of my ongoing series now, where I am listening to the 500 greatest albums of all time, as listed and decided upon by Rolling Stone magazine. And so this is album, I guess, number 3 for us, but number 498 on the list. And so before we jump into the song, let's get a little bit of background on this album and why it was determined to be one of the top 500 albums of all time. So we'll start with the Wikipedia article on this one. It says Suicide is the debut studio album from the American rock band Suicide. It was released in 1977 on Red Star Records, same year as Star Wars, and produced by Craig Leon and Marty Tao. The album was recorded in 4 days at Ultima Sound Studios in New York and featured Martin Rev's minimalist electronics and harsh repetitive rhythms paired with Alan Vega's rock and roll inspired vocals and depictions of urban life. Upon its initial release, Suicide was greeted with positive reception from the UK press, but received mixed reviews in the United States. It seems so common where things experience success overseas, and then here in the States, it just does not have the same traction for whatever reason, where it failed to chart. However, the album would soon be regarded as a milestone in electronic and rock music. In 2013, Pitchfork named Suicide one of the greatest albums of the 1970s, while in 2012 and 2020, Rolling Stone ranked it as one of the 500 greatest albums of all time. The album also influenced artists in various genres, including Bruce Springsteen, the Fleshtones, Spacemen 3, and Peaches. I've only heard of one of those artists, and that's Bruce Springsteen. So, but it's amazing that they had an influence on him. So, let's see what Rolling Stone had to say about it. So, according to Rolling Stone, these New York synth punks evoke everything from the Velvet Underground to rockabilly. Martin Rev's low-budget electronics are violent and hypnotic. Alan Vega screams as a rhythmic device. Late-night listening to Frankie Teardrop, a 10-minute-plus tale of a multiple murder, is not recommended. A droning voice in the wilderness. When they appeared in the 70s, the duo would influence bands from Arcade Fire, which we've heard recently as well, and The National to Bruce Springsteen, who covered Suicide live in 2016. Okay, so quite the influential band. I say we go ahead and jump into it. Again, this is Suicide, Ghost Rider. Let's give it a listen.
Ghost Rider, motorcycle hero. Baby, he's looking so cute. Sneaking round in a blue jumpsuit. Ghost Rider, motorcycle hero. Baby, he's blazing away. Like the stars in the universe. Ghost Rider, motorcycle hero. Baby, he's screaming the truth. America's killing its youth. Baby, he's screaming away. America's killing its youth. America's killing its youth. Ghost Rider.
Wow. Short, sweet, and effective. So, hey, I kind of like that. It was definitely kind of out there and much different than what I normally listen to. Um, but I kind of dug it. I'm not gonna lie. It was all right. So, hey, I say we break it down piece by piece like we always do, of course, starting with the lyrics and starting with even more information about the song. I feel like me reading information about the song has gotten, and the album has gotten further than the actual song did. It's gone longer. So anyway, Ghost Rider opens Suicide's debut album with one of their most iconic songs, simultaneously stripping rock music down to its barest bones. I think that's a good way to put it because it really was just like bass, guitar, and vocals. And paving the way for many acts to follow. Example, Henry Rollins, Soft Cell, and REM. I feel like every time I read about this band and this artist and this album, they lump in more people who had influence. So obviously, again, a very influential band, all of whom have covered this song. Oh, okay, so all three of them have covered this song as well. Its lyrics were inspired by the Marvel comic book of the same name. Okay, I was wondering if it had any connection to Ghost Rider. Which also served as the inspiration for the band's name. Okay. In a 2016 interview with Pitchfork, frontman Alan Vega said, Ghost Rider was from a comic book that was my favorite comic because it had all these religious, metaphysical things going on in it. I've never actually read Ghost Rider or even seen the movies with Nick Cage. That's odd, I feel like. I mean, I need to do some catching up. Transformations, one of its issues was titled Satan Suicide, and at that time, me and Marty and a friend were trying to think of a name for the band. We were laughing our heads off at all these stupid names we came up with. It was 3 of the funniest days of my life. Then I saw this issue of Ghost Rider, and I was like, there's the name, Satan Suicide. But Marty was like, let's just take suicide. We were talking about society's suicide, especially American society. New York City was collapsing. The Vietnam War was going on. The name suicide said it all to us. Well, I'm sure they have plenty of ideas about what America looks like today as well. But that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Let's go ahead and look at those lyrics. So, Ghost Rider, Motorcycle Hero. There it is. Yeah, it's the comic book Ghost Rider. Hey, baby, 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 he's looking so cute. Sneak around, round, in a blue jumpsuit. That's funny because I think most people would not call Ghost Rider cute, right? Ghost Rider, Motorcycle Hero. Hey, baby, 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 he's a blazing away like the stars, stars, stars in the universe. Ghost Rider, Motorcycle Hero. Hey, baby, 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 he's a screaming the truth. America, America is killing its youth. That part I was like, okay, yeah, we're getting into some punk rock territory here. But he's absolutely correct. America is killing its youth. And that's all I'll say about that. Even here in 2022, America is killing its youth. Hey, baby, 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 he's a screaming away. America, America is killing its youth. And I'm guessing at the time, again, it was Vietnam. It was maybe what they perceived as the collapse of society. I honestly feel like I'm living through the collapse of society right now, so I couldn't even imagine how they felt in the 70s, again, with Vietnam and everything going on. But yeah, America, America, it's killing its youth. Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider. Pretty neat. You know, I think it's kind of fun that it was inspired by the actual comic Ghost Rider. And they still kind of put in some of that commentary, right? That punk rock commentary of, hey, America's killing its youth. There's injustice happening. I'm sure that the rest of the album kind of plays on themes of that sort as well, is my guess. So, yeah, I mean, lyrically, I thought this one was kind of cool. I'll give it a thumb up lyrically. Why not? As far as the instrumentation goes, very stripped down, as this About section says. Really, we just had... Okay, apparently Born Free by MIA also samples this. I just wanted to see what instruments are credited here, because all I really felt like I heard was a bass guitar and just an electric guitar. But I think it just works. I mean, the sort of riffs that you get throughout are pretty catchy, like for being so, again, stripped back and kind of simple sounding. It was very catchy to just kind of like, all right, this is kind of cool. Vocally, I love sort of the more spoken word style of the vocal delivery as well. And it was, again, kind of short, sweet, and effective. And so I feel like, yeah, instrumentally and vocally, not a whole lot to complain about here. I feel like it's pretty simple, but it gets the job done. So I give it a thumb up, instrumentally and vocally. And as far as replay value goes, I mean, yeah, I think this one goes on the playlist. It's short enough where it's, if it comes on and I don't feel like listening to it at the moment, I still might, just because it's like, it's 2.5 minutes. But, it's a good song, and so it's definitely gonna make the playlist. I like the message. I like the and the kind of cool comic book reference in the 70s before we had the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe and everything. Dropping comic book references back then, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I think it makes the playlist. I give it a thumb up for replay value. Overall, not a bad song. And I kind of, now I kind of want to hear more off the album. That's kind of the whole goal, is to listen to new stuff that I haven't been exposed to. It's the whole goal of the channel. And so I think we accomplished that day in and day out. 1, with y'all's requests, and then 2, with my weird ideas to listen to whole albums. But yeah, I'll probably do another song off of this album. And then, eventually down the line, I'll talk about the album as a whole. It's hard to listen to. I will say it's hard to listen to albums all in one go, just because I usually listen to music while I'm driving, while I'm working out, etc., etc., and so I'm usually doing something else on top of listening to music. I haven't had a chance to really sit down and just do nothing else but listen to music. So I guess I got to force myself to do that. Anyway, that's the point. We'll get to it. We'll listen to more albums. I'm excited to listen to more from this album as well. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. As always, still taking requests. Leave them in the comments while you're down there. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. And if you enjoyed the music, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. And that's going to be it, guys. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.